remember. And they barely lost it.
They weren't actually bad in that game.
They were not bad. They were very close to making it to overtime. 5-7 loss to FaZe.
The reason why it's a 6-point game is because you are gaining 3 points and then also stopping your opponents from getting those 3 points as well. So make your 6. So yeah, very important game for both of these teams to take very seriously. Probably the biggest game that either of them have had. Yeah, we did cast it. We did cast it. We did cast it. Yeah.
They're in. They're off to the races. Demo straight in towards the site, and Robbie just knocks them right back out. Blinded and still got one, but Deadshot makes the important trade. Now the pressure on, the warning signals will start to come through. Some grass control here of IT, and the pressure on towards Pillar. They're trusting someone's going underneath, but they're planting. Cav is just a sort of missed moment right now. There's the watch, but nobody's been able to stop it. And now we're in a post-plant situation. They pull themselves back on the Pillar. You're sort of wondering what BDS were waiting for then, and well, Depth is apparently the split of it. Freck and Lasmo, last 2, and there's at least 1. They cut their way across, but Skies is well aware to watch it. There's the second.
If they died, as long as they got kills in return.
Well, there's one back on. MACKO is caught out, and there's an instant second.
Wow.
Oh, just had that vertical, did the retake, obviously fought somebody to get there, and then killed somebody for the reward of it. Leaves just Twitch and a Monty quite isolated. Now the Monty has kept on moving. Got themselves down towards the bottom of EXO, and well, as Skies finds one, they're still concerned about the possibility. The castle's able to slip away. Virtue wastes another precious 10 seconds. Takes a bit of damage, but it's a time game right now, Damo. They finally get the end of him. 20 seconds to plant, but they still have to plant. In a 2 versus 1, one of their heads is going to have to go. They've popped fire canisters either side. The covering and the smoke, and there is Astox. Shield on the back, getting the
C4.
Attackers dropped into lock in. Yep, the C4 gets the lob, and now with 5 seconds, unfortunately, Gen.G. A good attempt, not quite good enough.
Yeah, Rome again. Flips his way in close on that breach. I'd be surprised if MACKO expects this because it is such an offside position. Yeah, they have no ideas here. This is great from Robbie. Even has a red ping as well and knows exactly where he is. The nade comes in and there's the swing. Had no idea that Robbie was there. Gets taken out. Robbie from above.
You wouldn't expect a Deimos to just be carrying it, right? But you could expect a Deimos to be breaking through into sight. However, it was...
And Gen.G does set them up nicely. But BDS, like we know, they've got these C4s from below, and they're going to start trying to take from below. Downstairs, the Valkyrie able to take out Azox, who was going to be the player holding for those C4s. Now he's out of the picture. Somebody has to get down there. You cannot go for the plant if you know there's C4 operators downstairs.
Oh, Deadshot is so close to a fight here, but he can't quite win it out, Robbie. He's been a bit quiet in a couple of previous play days since coming back onto a sort of, you know, EU team rather than his previous MENA heritage as the 2 teams come together. But Skies puts the end of him. There's Skies getting one more. Asa going for the plant as they go for the pickup. It's the smart move because you're not going to get any further with it, but it's instantly responded to. And there's just another Sky. There it is. They're going for the plant. BDS, alarms need to start going off. They've obviously broken the mirror window, and now it's a post plant. Okay, but it's still an awkward hold because they can try and fight their way across. It's a big divide to cross. There's no real vertical to watch it. We do hear a mirror window pop open, and there's another Gen.G kill, though, that's making things a bit tougher, but it's balanced back. Freck does get one, hops on through, but now they have, I believe, the watch from above and from a bit of range. They're just waiting for the pings. Where is Virtue in all of this? Oh, stuck fighting his way up cargo. Maybe just going to try and draw some attention and hope they get kills elsewhere. There's 4 bodies watching for that single shield entrance, I think, at this point. And Deadshot is actually going to open it up. There's the swing round. There goes Skies, the second death. And there's Freck getting 3! Freck! I said he was an important power position, and there he is defining it. There's an up and down fight, but knifed out.
1, 2, 3. Well, I didn't really get time to mention it in the round, but that Warden who was sat inside the storage. So they had the heads-up game in the meta currently with the amount of denial that they can bring, but in BDS are trying to bring the heat. I think it's a quick rush, perhaps, because whenever you see the thermite drop right beside that wall on the site,
Target acquired.
It's a little bit surprising to see just BDS fully rip it, but hey, hasn't really worked for them though, as they lost 2 bodies.
Well, now they have themselves swinging right round on towards the wall. But as soon as the swing comes through, so instead, underneath the Clash, watching and waiting for any of this fight. But it's the Clash that wins it out, gets a double, and that just leaves Freck alone.
Wow.
How much will be
Nobody in storage? Well, he's too late to get into storage.
Yeah, I was going to say, now there won't be anyone.
Blunder,
There it is.
Blunder, not having anyone in mid-floor.
Well, they have the vertical, they have the position, they're just going to plant in the middle of the smoke, and well, they're looking towards the default, spraying over the top. There's the glass cover. We said they were going to go quick, way too quick here. Gen.G. If we said occasionally they caught some of the BDS players out of position, here is a big one. There's a blitz that's toe-to-toe, and oh, if that had gone away from them, that would have been tragic, but it's against the Clash. It was a back-and-forth brawl that ended one way, a 2 versus 4. Deadshot does at least get one of them, but trying to spray onto Lasmo takes a lot of damage. They're about to be, ooh, maybe got a bit lucky with the spray. That wasn't luck, that was locked in, but look at the time demo at this point. They're just padding their stats because at this point, there's no winning this round here. Good read by BDS, keeps us level. 4-4. Right there, but there's somebody off towards the right. Can't quite get the player at that moment in time. They're just trying to charge and charge and charge, and there's a free real estate. 3 of them right in the middle, and at that point, maybe you've got a bit too far, but it's leveled out. Comes soon, because if it gets revealed as MACKO does, it's just an annihilation.
Oh, Virtue. I get you again. Just has to try and fight the mirror window, which is a big issue for him as well. Just don't see him really winning this one unless someone from Gen.G loses the head. Lived or died on how well those guys were able to move in and take control of cargo. And the reason why was because of that mirror window. They were solely buying them in, aren't they? Like the jailer.
I think that's it, right? They're sort of trying to limit the play space they have. It gives BDS a bit of breathing room. Now they can see if they can get the first pick, and Robbie does. Gets the end of Deadshot. Now they can start doing this, the breakaway across. They're taking control of Rafters instead of going for the heaviest end on IT. This time it's more direct, but it allows these players to just break their way in on towards the front door, and there's a fight on the Clash on Pillar. They are battling, but unfortunately, not enough space to do it. Guys, well, the plant is the attempted thing. There's the play. Oh, he's narrowly slipped all the way in and waiting for the player to swing round. There it is. There's a couple of traded kills back and forth. They do get the C4 on towards P4, and Virtue's down. So it is a technical 3 versus 3. It was a heavy retake attempted from underneath. Now it's a 3 versus 2. Another Deimos track will come together, but another C4 kill. That's another end to an already downed player. At this point, now 2 versus 3, but most importantly, Demo, they're able to stop the plant. Oh, unfortunately, they weren't able to stop that. Caught out entirely and surrounded, leaving just Azox left. Now they are able to get that first strike. I was a little worried for a second, but as soon as the Deimos has this call, they'll just cover it. Lasmo can plant behind this. The Deimos can have a little bit of a 1 versus 1, but they know exactly when he's going to move in close, and that is the most important factor. Now, a precious post plant. One's going above and one's going out the window. The perfect way to play this, and a very, very tricky retake. Gonna hold on, wait for the next fire through.
Hold down these roamers. He is waiting for him.
Well, they're caught in the bees and caught out by Lasmo. There he is. Oh, it's a level pegging once again, and there goes a Clash, but MACKO fights back, goes underneath. An early C4 will still get Lasmo. Must have just been stepping in, but knocking right back out. Skies locks it in, and Virtue, in the blink of an eye, was all that is left.
Where the birds are, you can see that BDS are once again going to be planting in a default position just beside that reinforced wall. And Goya will get popped. So now we're starting to see the util start to be used by the defense, but again, this time, it's going to be close. They can't jump through that double window. There's 2 Goyas ready to go for it.
Well, there's two Goyos ready and gone for it, and now you've got to throw yourself through the one that you opened just before, and they'll probably be well aware of that. But Skies, Zassetti's still thirsty. Virtue does trade it out, and now they're going for the plant itself with Virtue having the lockdown, and P4 is able to just secure it in the trade to 2 versus 3 post-plant, and that is the important part of this. At this point now, they can play it so cautiously. Virtue is threading the needle, can't secure the fight, but his teammate has it locked down. Enough is done. That leaves just MACKO here. Needs to retake this vertical first, and will be making the noise because doesn't really have the option to move slowly and stealthily with only 19 seconds and not being offered an engagement. Should be caught to his left. Well, they just do enough. Again, biting and pulling back. BDS are leaving nothing to chance here, and as the timer ticks away, BDS once again will be finding themselves on map. Comes out and 25 seconds left as Gen.G trying to start making their move. They slip their way in and they're going to go for the plant itself, but instantly put pressure on and shut down. It's the fight on the top floor that Azox wins out, but in the basement where the plant needs to go down, it's all coming up. BDS now, the cover, the narrow angle, and the important job of a C4 that didn't quite get the full kill, but the second sure did. Picks it up, tries to win the engagement, not quite there in time. BDS do just enough.
We do see some amazing individual step up. On one side, it's Skies that finally shows up that he was the best player on the team. NACKO said it. NACKO said for him, Skies was the best player on this roster. He didn't show up for the first few play days and then finally stepped up. And if you look on the other side, you're gonna see here Freck again, dropping double digits. Again, 14 and 8, against above 1 kill per round. And again, his team, this time, stepping up on his side.
Yeah, this time he got the victory. How many times have we said, oh, Freck deserved to win today, but he was on the losing side? I think today, that
Bootcamp, we should be speaking to Lilong to ask her a few questions as well, of course, the strategic brain behind this team. Welcome, good evening, congratulations on the 2 points and the victory today. That was a tough game, wasn't it?
Way too tough. Oh my god, way too close for comfort. That's what we say, right?
Exactly, yeah, but you get the 2 points. I think that's absolutely huge as well. And we mentioned it briefly just now, but you're on bootcamp with the team as well. I think that must make a absolute big difference in regards of how the team functions and how these matches are taken together.
Exactly, it is necessary when you build a team like this one, and I'm so thankful that BDS are taking care of us that way. We've been to 3 bootcamps so far already, so it makes such a huge difference when you build a team from scratch with players that, for most of them, don't even know each other, have never heard of each other, never played together, never talked even together, so like it makes such a big difference.
What do you think, I guess, seeing this roster evolve, what do you think they're at right now in terms of level? Do you see their evolution? How has it been cooking with these teams with people that barely knew each other at the beginning of this stage?
It's been very different from what I've been used to and what we all have been used to, and I will use this opportunity to talk briefly about what you mentioned before the game, Leo. This is not Wolves continuity. I know people love to put that tag on us, and I understand, but it's not. We have done absolutely everything different. With Helby, with Eden stepping in, we've been changing absolutely everything. There's not one thing that is not new in the way we're functioning right now. So it's really from scratch, building with BDS as an org behind us, with players input, and then I will give the seat to Virtue in a couple of seconds because he has been stepping in quite a lot too. It's a pleasure to have him on the team, and we've been, like I said, building everything from scratch. So it's a lot of work. It's very interesting. It's very stimulating. But it's it's a piece of work. It's not easy. Making sure everybody understands each other. It's new for some of them. Working English, you know, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, and we're far from where we are hoping to get soon, hopefully.
Just quickly on this, Laurie, I did actually have a question about the game, but I just want to pick up on something that you've said there. How did this team come about, I guess, is maybe a question that people won't necessarily know, because like you said, it is players from everywhere, and you've got P4 transitioning into English as well. So how did the idea behind this team come around?
BDS reached out to us. When I say us, it's me and Helby, to work on new project. They wanted to start with a blank page, you know, like build the rookie, developing people, developing new players, helping them, you know, feel at home and plan on the long term. So they reached to us, and then we just started talking about what we wanted to be our core, and very quickly we wanted an IGL that we could trust. Knowing P4, it was an obvious choice. And then Virtu had just had a little downside with Secret. I'm not gonna talk about that longer. I think everybody knows. So it was very easy to just pick them together, have them, you know, we've done meetings, have them work together, and then we build around them too, around how they wanted to be surrounded, and where we wanted to go around them too, basically. We wanted a very healthy environment. We wanted calm players, but also players that just really wanted to prove themselves. Players that didn't for all have a chance before, if I can say so. I mean, it's still very new for Lasmo. Robbie had some tryouts and he's been playing 2 events with Falcons, but it's so different. It's like the environment is so different. So we just wanted to surround them with players that just haven't had a chance yet or true chance yet, and build long-term around them.
It's amazing. I mean, obviously, it's so good to hear from all of your insights behind this team. It's been, you had the pleasure to talk to the players a few more times, obviously, as well. But to hear your insights on this team as well. Did you say you wanted to give the seat to Virtue for him to talk? Okay, well, be my guest.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Jake, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you.
I've got to ask you, man, you've changed completely. I think so many different, I guess, emotions went through when you left the G2, you went to Secret, and then you arrived in BDS. Completely new roster, completely new ways of, I guess, seeing the game. Do you feel like you're still learning now in your position, or do you think you're more teaching today in this position?
I'm definitely more learning right now. I've taken up a different type of responsibility in the team where I get more involved, helping like the younger players or giving more guidance. Laurie's been guiding me to do this more, and slowly but surely, like I'm getting more into it because like it's not like my nature to do that, so I'm trying my best.
It's awesome. Good to hear from you and your insights as well. Obviously, Virtue, you're looking at the start of a Super Week. It's going to be really busy for you as well with 2 play days now, back to back. The race for the top 6 is still very much on. You're playing Fnatic, for example. How are you feeling about these last 2 matches with this roster?
I mean, today was a bit shaky. It didn't go how we thought it would, realistically. We knew exactly how we should have played and whatnot, and we should have honestly won the full 3 points. So going into the next matches, I think we have full confidence. You know, we just make small mistakes, and you know, mistakes are always fixed. So we go into more new day, new plan, and go with full confidence. So yeah.
There was one thing that wasn't shaky, is you holding that vert on Sledge for that basement execute, man. I love it.
I was a bit shaky, but yeah.
the last kill you missed, it was shaky, but the 2 first ones were really nice.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's getting a little bit late, and you have the first game tomorrow as well. I mean, talk about a busy Super Week coming up for you, so we won't keep you here any longer. Thank you so much for your insights, and best of luck with the remainder of the Super Week.
Thank you.